So, welcome to Connie's in the Mix, Your Health and Your Money. And today I have a special show. It's the environmental issues. So, all what I'm talking about is most of the time will be environmental issues, what I've heard this week. Very, very important. It was on the CNN affiliated TV station in Germany. It's NTV, that's the name of the German station. They have a huge topic this week because the government wants to charge every business who is selling now plastic bags. That means, or not the government is charging, is the businesses have to charge now companies who are giving out plastic bags. But it's not only like Walmart, it's also like the same size like Macy's, or when you go shopping jeans, then the jeans company has to pay you have to pay 20 cents for the bag or 30 cents. And the target is that we stop polluting the environment, the oceans and everything, because plastic is the worst for nature. Just an example, the plastic bags what you are using when you go to Walmart or to Publix or wherever you go, it takes between 100 and 500 years till it disappears, till it's rotting. That's unbelievable. It's one plastic bag. Now when you go shopping, when you are standing in line, watch what people are doing. I have always my cotton bag with me, and I would recommend you that you do the same. I have 4 or 5 cotton bags with me, so I never use plastic. Now, the buyer in front of me, for every single product, she's asking for a separate plastic bag. So when she's done, she has sometimes 40, 50 plastic bags in just one shopping cart. And I'm dying there because it hurts me to see these people have no idea how they hurt environment. And these plastics, these molecules, they are going into the ocean, all these plastic pieces, and they are going in. You can see all these plastics in the ocean swimming everywhere, and fishes don't know that this is not food, so they start eating them, and then they all die because plastic, you cannot digest plastic, and it's horrible how they die there. So this is a killer. Plastic is a killer, and it's coming back in the food chain. When the plastic molecules are smaller, it goes into the fish, and then when they're just molecules, it stays in the fish. And guess what you are eating next time when you are at Red Lobster? Just think about it. You eat exactly that fish, so the plastic comes right back into your body, and it's cancerous. Just think about it. So why not supporting something like that? I really would recommend that everybody who gives out plastic bags, let's charge 20, 30 cents. If sometimes you forgot your bags, then you pay 20 cents. Oh my God, it will not kill you, but it makes you aware that you should not use 40 or 50 bags for one shopping. That's what it is. And if I forgot mine, I take one plastic bag, and the plastic bag is completely packed with stuff. One single plastic bag. So think about that, and buy some linen. It's 99 cents everywhere, some linen or cotton bags, and then start using them. It's really the easiest and the best thing what you can do on your own for nature and for this planet. Also, planet, watching movie this week, and Netflix has a new film for streaming. So if you're a Netflix customer, it's a great idea to stream that. It's in your streaming package included, so you don't have to pay for that additionally. The name of the film is Plant Pure Nation. I'm in the middle of this film, and I cannot believe what I hear there. It is talking about the China study, about Professor Dr. Colin Campbell and his son. He's also an MD. He is a professor emeritus of nutritional biochemistry at Cornell University. He was already talking about that in the 70s. He has proven in his China studies that when you have a plant-based nutrition, it doesn't mean that you are not eating meat at all, but plants, vegetables and fruits are the main part of your nutrition. That your health is improving so much that you will not need any medication anymore. Really. It is, you lose weight, cholesterol disappears completely. Completely. And also you will, your blood pressure goes back to normal. So all these side effects from bad food, from fried food, it disappears in 3 months completely. He has proven that in this China study. He worked with Chinese in the 70s, and then he had the statistics. So he was working on that studies for years. So then came the summary. So they made a bill for the Congress in the 70s. And when these rules are coming out every so and so years for how to feed American, or how Americans should, what they should eat, they wanted to change the nutrition and recommend a plant-based nutrition as the best for the American people. Imagine in the 70s. Guess what happened? There are lobbyists. And you can imagine whose lobbyists are very strong and get a lot of money. The food industry, packaged food, like food producers, chicken, cows, all of them. I don't even have to say names. They are huge companies who put so much money into the lobbyists that they voted down this bill in Congress, so it never reached the American nation. And the sad thing is, right now, look around, look at the obese people, look at these horrible obese children. It is horrible to see what illnesses we are fighting, and for sure 2/3 of them would not be here if we would have much more plant-based food. And it's very sad, because you at home, you can change your health yourself. You decide, if you make a switch to nutrition, in your nutrition, to healthier food. And it's not being without carbs. That's not the thing. And it's not all about just eating fat or just eating something all the time. It's plant-based food what makes the difference. And then you eat twice a week a filet mignon or whatever you like, or a piece of fish. That's no problem. But not every day, all the time. Or when I drive home from here, from my business at Fit and Fight Holistic Gym here, I see the McDonald's at the corner, and I see the school is right beside it, and I see the same children at 12:30. The same children are standing in line every day. So that means these children get fed McDonald's 5 days a week for sure. That's the worst, really. So that's where we get, and then look around how we look like. Look around, it's horrible. So this film, Plant Pure Nation, I strongly recommend to take 2 hours of your time, sit down and watch that movie. It will change your thinking, and it will motivate to make lifestyle changes, to change your nutrition, and I promise you, you will be healthy. I promise you, you will be healthy. And beside that, he didn't talk about that part, but China has almost no cancer. So, or had no cancer, let's put it that way, in the 70s. Now with all that bad air, what's going on, that's now a different thing. But plant-wise, or the Japanese, there is not a lot of cancer there. So that means indirectly you can see that plant-based food even helps our immune system and our being, our well-being, so we don't get cancer. Very important. Okay, and then I was thinking, what else is new here in the US? And I saw incredible news. America is really changing their taste, changing their habits, or its habits. That's very, very important. Coca-Cola and Pepsi just announced that the numbers are really going down in the United States because less and less people are drinking Coke and Pepsi and sodas, all these sodas so sugary, and more people are changing to natural water, to spring water and to bottled water, because it's so much healthier. And that's, for me, that's such a great news, especially in a country who is drinking so much Coke. It's the Coke nation. It's the birthplace of Coke. So if this habit is changing, this is incredible good news, because it shows you that the nation starts to rethink, to reevaluate what they put into their body. And big country, big nation, big businesses, you can see that the American people start thinking for themselves to see that this cannot be healthy. That means not that you cannot drink once in a while a real Coke. A real Coke, how it was when you remember 30 years ago, you had one Coke every so and so weeks. You enjoy that Coke, that's fine. That's not the problem. It's just not the, what is that, 2-liter bottle, the big ones, almost doesn't fit in the refrigerator. That one per day, that is not an option. And America, that's just great. I'm so proud. I saw the numbers, and that makes me so happy. Okay, it's not making Pepsi and Coke happy, I can tell you that, but I'm not the CEO there, so I don't care. I think that's great, because in the long run, it's just about the health of this nation. It is so important to me, really. Beside the way, I would not buy Coke and Pepsi stocks if I would be you, because I have that feeling that this development will go on and on and on. That's what I feel. So, but I was looking in some other stocks, and I was looking at Whole Foods, because healthy foods and organic and whole paycheck, that's the problem. So I go once every 2 weeks. I go once to Whole Foods, and I have to say it's relatively expensive. It's much more expensive than Aldi or Publix, where I regularly go. But sometimes every 2 weeks I allow myself to go there, and I was looking into their stocks, and you know what? It came down 41% from their height in the last 52 weeks. So I think, with that back knowledge of seeing the American habits changing to healthier thinking, I think Whole Foods is really a good buy right now. Down so many percentage. Also, they just gave the dividends to their stockholders. That's also taking down the value of the stock. Hopefully you know that. And that's why the 41% is not that negative. It's not that negative. And now it came to a price range where it's really interesting to start buying them, and not for day trading. Not for day trading. You put it on your portfolio and you are watching for the next 10 years. I think there is coming a lot. And Whole Food, they open now new businesses, smaller businesses, it's like a kind of second company from Whole Foods, and they are smaller, and they will be also a little bit cheaper than Whole Foods, and that's good news. That's good news, because cheap shit food, bad food, and that's what everybody wants to buy. Now, when that changes and the food gets cheaper, the healthy food gets cheaper, I really can see that more people who don't have that kind of money, they are changing their lifestyles too. Because you make the decision, you spend the money today for good food, or you spend the money in 5 or 10 years with the MD for chemotherapy and all that shit what you have to go through when you get cancer, and you have all these medications what you need to somehow function. So you rather invest your money in yourself today in something healthy. That's my personal opinion. So I went further. I wanted to see, I don't know if you have Trader Joe's, wherever you are looking. Trader Joe's is also an organic food company. They are smaller than Whole Foods, and they are selling a lot of their own products under their own company name. So the advantage of Trader Joe's is they don't have shelf fees. And when they promote something, it's really because they are healthy, and not because one business paid huge shelf fees. Like at Whole Foods, the shelf fees are very, very important. It's a part of the income of Whole Foods. So Trader Joe's doesn't have that. So I was looking further into Trader Joe's. I wanted to recommend you the stocks. And guess what I saw? Trader Joe is privately held, so there are no stocks to buy. And I know that Trader Joe's parent is Aldi, the German Aldi. Aldi is one of the biggest company in Germany for food. I think even it's one of the biggest in whole Europe. That's how big they are now. And guess what? In Germany, they are privately owned too, because they don't want to show any numbers. They are not responsible to anybody. They make what they think is right, what is correct to the consumer, and so they have a completely different concept of running the business. It's profit, but they can really choose the best of the best without these shelf fees and without competing and without having the stockholder in their neck to make as much money as you can. Sometimes just to make money is not the best decision. You have to balance between environment and making money, and that's what I think what the best profit is. You make profit, but you also help others and make good decisions for the environment. So these three things have to balance each other out. It's not just about profit. That's the problem with shareholders. So beside that, I want to introduce today my news flash. I have 3 flashes today, and they're all 3 from the Wall Street Journal. I found all 3 on the Wall Street Journal this week. The one is natural product claims can be murky. That was yesterday. No, it was on the 30th of March on the Wall Street Journal. I would recommend you, if you want to know more about this, you should really Google this. Natural product claims can be murky. It says, some premium priced items bearing the label share key ingredients with mainstream brands. That was what I was always afraid of. I'm spending so much money to buy natural ingredients, detergents or toothpaste, and then comes this. And this is exactly what I was afraid of. It says, Whole Food Markets INC last fall started selling new brand of laundry detergent called Nature's Power. And it's green and it looks great, and you think it's really something what you should buy, and you pay the double of the regular detergent. And then whose green bottle claims the product is made with plant-derived soaps. And then Wall Street Journal goes really into it and takes a closer look what's really in it. And it's not a big difference between Arm & Hammer and Nature's Power. It is just sad. And it costs, okay, that I have to say, it costs 114% more. Nature's Power costs 114% more than Arm & Hammer. The Windex and Mrs. Meyer's, same thing. The window cleaner, natural, not natural, it costs 127% more than Mrs. Meyer's, the green thing. It looks very healthy, but again, it's almost the same ingredients, so it doesn't really make sense to spend all that money. Toothpaste, the same, it's Colgate against Tom's of Maine, and that Tom's of Maine is 15% more expensive. Cleaning wipes, Clorox, again, Greenworks. Greenworks is 43% more expensive. Go into that, read the article, very interesting. And it's just sad that the word natural doesn't mean shit. Really, it doesn't mean anything. So you have to really take a look at the products. And honestly, I cannot even tell you where to buy something really healthy. I cannot. I have no solution for that. Whatever, let me go on. Just don't spend the money when it doesn't really help, and it just helps the business. It's like, I don't want to say it's a fraud, but almost it is. In the other Wall Street Journal that was on March 29, the day before that, it says, study. And it's a conservative newspaper here, so it's not something Democrat or liberal or whatever. It's a conservative newspaper here. It says, study, quake risks from wells rise. The U.S. Geological Survey released maps Monday that for the first time shows the potential risk of man-made as well as naturally occurring earthquakes, with some parts of Texas and Oklahoma now at the same danger of tremors as California. And this is from the fracking. And also here, you don't believe this, because maybe you're a right-wing Republican. You should take a closer look at that. It's a Republican newspaper, conservative newspaper, Wall Street Journal, on the 29th of March. And you can take a look at this itself. And this is what I was always afraid. Putting all that shit in the ground cannot be healthy. And Oklahoma never had earthquakes, and now after the fracking it has. Hello, 1 and 1, put them together. Yeah, it is from the fracking. And it says at the end, the Oklahoma Corporation Commission, which regulates the state's oil and gas industry, has spent the last year cracking down on the use of wastewater disposal wells, requesting that more than 100 operators curtail or shut down their activities. Now, thank God. Now, thank God it was really time. I'm really getting into it, so it's getting even warm when I'm having these environmental issues. My heart is so much into that, so I'm really getting excited. You see that here, I really feel great. This is why I like a live show. I would probably not in the same way when it would be just recorded. It's just a different feeling doing a live show or having a recording one. I just love this atmosphere of having live and everybody can watch me. The last news flash for today was, you heard maybe, that there is a part of the United States where you need to have a GMO labeling. Yeah, there is something like that. It's in Vermont. And this is starting soon, so companies have to adjust what they are selling there and what are they doing with the labeling. And the newspaper, the Wall Street, says that was on the 22nd of March that Mars, M&M's and the Mars bar and Wrigley's all belong to Mars, to add GMO labeling, because it doesn't make sense to have everywhere the regular American labeling and then put just separate GMO labeling for Vermont. So they changed their whole attitude now for the United States, and you will see on the label which part will be GMO and which one will be not, as do Campbell's Soup and General Mills too. And I love that, because the label will give you the opportunity to make your own decision.